Legend, buddy, friend, pal. Thank you. Welcome.
What an intro. How are you guys?
Well,
How are
it's
you?
lucky that we used that one because it was me just whinging about how red my face was before.
You look great. You look beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. It's very fucking hot and humid here.
Yeah. You at home at the moment?
Yeah, you lot can keep that shit because it's freezing here. It's miserable. It's 6 in the morning and it's like I've got all the heaters on. I just want to be out there. So yeah.
We
No
would like you to be out
complaining,
here
please.
too. Yeah, it's hot as fuck here, and
Yeah.
it's what's the time? 6:30 at night, and it's
Yeah,
currently
nice.
27 degrees Celsius, and we're in my studio that doesn't have air conditioning, so that's cool.
It's the humidity
Okay,
that gets you,
listen.
man. It's moist.
The sacrifices for our art, you know.
That's it.
I appreciate the sacrifices you guys are making right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank
I'm
you.
so glad you just deal with that whinging in that way. Although you're not a stranger to the Oz heat. Johnny and I both saw you play at a Soundwave festival
Oh,
this
really?
is
many
15
moons
years ago.
Yeah.
Where it was
Yeah.
like 40 degrees. They ran out of water. It was chaos. And you still fucking trucked on and did your chaotic swinging off the rafters thing. So I know you get it.
Yeah, man. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. You know, we're there to perform. Got to alleviate the stress. They were basically hurried me on, and they were like, "There's no more water. Just go and entertain."
Make him sweat more. Go, go, go.
Sweet. Cheers, lads.
You're responsible for about like 4,500 people just getting heat stroke and passing out. But hey, it's rock and roll, man.
That's what the music's about.
But that was when you were a much younger and much angrier man. So, and we have seen you numerous times since then.
Yeah, we've been able to see you across all of your iterations of music and rage,
Nice.
which has been a pleasure for us. It's also been like that's something I want to start this off with. You've managed to do what you want in terms of music and cover off the style that you're interested in without getting labeled a sellout, which is fucking sick. Why do you think that is? Because you went from like GALLOWS where it's just like fucking punk hardcore.
I think you missed a bit early on when I was called a sellout. It was about half an hour. But it's one of those things. Like if you give too much attention to any of that, then it just grows, you know. So people are going to say whatever they're going to say. They're going to be. What I've come to learn is that when people really care about your music, right? They care because it resonates deeply with them and their identity. And so when you start shape-shifting and changing dramatically, it makes them question who they are. You know, like they're like, well, I understood you as this. I don't understand you as this, and I don't really like how it's making me feel. And so, you know, but that's not my responsibility. Other people's identity is not my responsibility. That's on them to work out. And honestly, like, I think one of the best gifts I can do is to help them question that all the time. You know, because for me, it's like when you said you're less angrier. I'm definitely not, lads. Like I'm probably the angriest I've ever been. But I've just found better ways of dealing with it. Do you know what I mean? But it's one of those things. I like music. I like freedom, and I like exploring. You know, so I'll always just do whatever the fuck I want. And people will say what they want to say along the way, but trust me, it take me a long time to get this level-headed about it. I didn't used to be.
Yeah, because like the new album, like we've been lucky enough to hear the whole thing. It's I don't want to blow smoke up your ass, man, but it's a
do it, man.
All right, it's a fucking bona fide rock star album. Like it's as a well-rounded rock and roll album as you'll get. And it, like Nate said, it has been a pleasure to watch you just grow and change and become who you are now. And that's such a fucking sick point, man, like about the whole people's identities and them questioning that. And it's so funny when you look at things like the heavy music scene, because if like everyone's all like, it's all about integrity and you got to stay true to your roots and true to who you are. It's like people can't seem to grasp the concept that, but I'm not who I was 20 years ago.
Yeah, well, people can't seem to grasp the concept that I am who I am, and I am staying true to who I am.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that every day we grow, every day we change. And it's like, if you find something that feels comfortable, then that's okay. Like, enjoy that for a bit. But like, committing everything in your life to that is a death sentence. You're gonna have a miserable life if you are desperate to stay there, because we all get older, we get fatter, we get tired, we get smarter, we get more experience, we love,
That's the one you're missing.
we lose it. It's about the journey, not the destination. I think some people, they get real excited, hit 23 years old, and they're like, yeah, this is where I want to be. It's like, oh man, there's so much more coming. You ain't seen nothing yet. Like,
you don't know that until you kind of get there, though. So I understand that point of view of like why people are from the age of 16 to 25 think they have it all figured out, and then they get to 25 and they realize they don't have anything figured out. It's because you haven't experienced enough to know better. You said before about people being frustrated because they're not feeling like they understand you. And have you had that experience yourself? Is there an artist that's released something you're like, fuck, like that's what I liked about them and that's what I understood, and then you felt a little disillusioned by something they brought out?
I've never felt disillusioned by something they brought out. I've been mad at myself that I couldn't get it. I'm like, fuck, they've elevated away from me. Shit. Like, I'm stuck here now. I'm stuck here, and I've got a fucking, how many years is it going to be until I'm on their fucking level now? Shit. So
have you had that level where you've gotten me like, come back later and be like, fuck, I missed out on this album, but now I love it.
Yeah. And I like, I mean, Queens of the Stone Age are one of those bands that do it all the fucking time. Like, I'm just like, fuck, what now? Like,
that's a great example.
And Gorillaz as well. Like, what Damon's doing with Gorillaz is just always like mind blowing. But I had it early on as well with the Prodigy. Like, the Prodigy is just such a phenomenal, like, fucking force of a band. And I listened to that record, and then was just like, I listened to Fat of the Land, and it just blew my little mind. I must have been like 14 years old or something the first time I heard it. And I remember just hearing such a flux of music all at once, and it just had speed and power. And I remember thinking, like, I didn't know how it was possible.
Yeah.
I mean, one minute I was listening to this beautiful, like Middle Eastern vocal raging over the top of like pure fucking, like, really hard, like, drum and bass. And then there was like a guitar breakdown, and I remember just being like, I think I went into a history class just like shook. Do you know what I mean? Just like,
I don't care about anything. The Romans. Are you checking this out?
Yeah. I wish I was learning about the fucking Romans. We had English. I was learning about crop rotation. I was like, no one needs this. We don't need this anymore.
It's funny though, because like the Prodigy are one of those bands that I think you either got them when you were younger because of the intensity, or it wasn't until later until you could break it down, because it was so always like chaotic. And I always saw them as like dance music for metalheads, because it had that ferocity, that intensity. It was dirty, it was gritty, it was uncomfortable, but it wasn't like the mainstream clean dance stuff that was all about hooks.
Yeah.
Do you know what Prodigy reminds me of? That reminds me of like the original punk bands that were like, punk wasn't, that's what punk sounded like. It was just people who were like anarchists creating music, and they were like, that's what they remind me of, the early days of punk, but just with really good production.
Yeah, they're the Sex Pistols of the 90s, like, they're great.
So with the album, the inspiration for the album, I won't say it's a departure from your sound, because you've done a good job at slowly like transforming the band to what it is now. It's got a, like, and I know you said you're still an angry man, and that does come through, because if you actually pay attention, because it's quite a dark and slow album for the most part.
Lyrically, it comes through.
Yeah, but vocally, it's quite beautiful and pleasant, because like you're like the fucking Michael Bublé of punk rock now. Like, there's a lot of crooning and shit on there, man. Like, it's
what a fucking. I'm glad I woke up early for this.
If there's not a Christmas album coming, we'll be pissed.
Can you imagine? Fucking hell. Yeah, it's I've been working just so hard on my voice. You know, really been working hard with Lorna, my vocal coach. She's amazing. Um, she works with fucking Dua Lipa, Tom Walker, Florence and the Machine,
Wow.
and me. I'm just like I'm just like
I really get
waiting
those
for her to
Florence
realize.
inspired sounds in you.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for her to not have any more time. She's amazing, and she's unlocked all of this in me that I didn't know I had, and always hoped, you know, you always want to
Yeah.
get better at your job, but
I can't wait to be good at my
I could
job
never.
one day.
Me too, man. But yeah, it's been, I don't know. Dean was able to like really. He saw early on the work that I was doing, and I think made a conscious decision to change up the way he wrote songs.
Yeah,
So
sure.
he started opening up a lot of space, a lot more space, and giving me less. He has a tendency to give me a lot, you know, because he's a guitarist, so he can't say what he wants to say.
Yeah.
He has to fucking say it in music, you know, and in the past he had a lot to say, and now I think he's moved into a place where he's simplifying, and he's able to sort of break it down a bit, and so that space created a lot of room. And as soon as I had that, man, I just wanted to belt. I just wanted to sing, you know, just let the man sing.
Oh yeah.
Let the man out of the cage. That is one of the things I noticed about it was all the space. And like you said, it allowed you to just sing. But when he creates so much space, is there any sort of like anxiety where it's like, fuck, now I've got to fill this up with, you know, like vocal melodies that don't sound the same or aren't monotonous or are doing this space justice? Or was it kind of like it's finally that flag to just go for it?
Yeah, no anxiety, zero anxiety.
I like
It
that.
was just, it was like a 1,000% excitement. I was just ready, man. I was so ready. I was like, I've been waiting to just fucking step into my Michael Bublé role. Yeah, no, I was so excited, man. No anxiety. It's funny because I think it's a heavy record in content, right? Not particularly sound, but I knew the songs that we were making. I was like, as soon as we play them live, this shit's gonna be really fucking heavy. Like I just knew it, you know. And there's I was in rehearsals this week, and it's like a fucking sledgehammer. Like it's so impactful, and because of that space in all of those songs, like a song like Superstar just becomes so elevated when you hit that chorus.
Yeah.
That we feel like, now I'm looking around the room and it's all like we're just fucking barely holding on to our instruments for dear life, and it's just I just cannot fucking wait to get on the road. Like I've never been this excited about this stage in my life before. Yeah, man.
Well, you touched on it then, but I played just like This Is Frank Carr the Rattlesnakes for a friend the other day because we were talking about the interview was coming up and he was like, oh, I don't think I've actually listened to them. So I put on and press shuffle and I was like, try and pick what genre this is. And he's like, every song, it really is. There's so much of writing, so much depth to it. But live is where I find the cohesion comes for you guys. As we said, we've been lucky to see you guys as Frank Carr a few times as well. Do you feel like that's something that you need to see live to understand, or does that not bother you in the songwriting process? Because like I look at like the first album that came out and you play a song like Juggernaut versus Lullaby versus anything off the new album, that there is like a big change in that. Is that something that you go, people need to see this live to understand where that like string that connects it all together is?
It helps, yeah, definitely. It's I don't think about it too much. Basically, we write albums, and we've only ever written albums. We're an album band. Grew up on albums. I'll always write that way. I write there's a story behind each one.
Yeah,
it's a moment in time of my life, and that sits there, and that's that. The joy is writing the set list, you know, and like you said, that is the cohesion. When you see us live, it's like I believe it's you then understand what the band means, you know, what who we are. When we're not like, it's difficult because we're not like, you won't find us in playlists because we can fit in all of them. Like you know, like DSPs and labels, they want to pigeonhole you. They want to understand you, you know. And how can you understand something that's constantly shedding its skin? You know, it's like, but that's the thing. You know, when you talk about that, like we're still the same snake. Do you know what I mean?
The
We're
rattlesnake.
still yeah, exactly, yeah. So it's but yeah, you're right. It's that's the live, the performance, the live element is the string through all the albums, but it's also the thing that makes it make sense to people. Is the connection, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. The live experience is so much more tangible as well and so much more real. It's just like you get
Yeah,
that
I'm
like
usually
visceral just
fucking. I'm usually
yeah, well, you're
grabbing you.
walking
You know?
on people, you know, like
Quite
yeah, just
literally,
who
yeah,
am
yeah.
I going to step on
Yeah,
tonight? Like,
yeah,
tell your mum I said
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
That's all right. They paid the ticket. They know what they're getting themselves into.
Mm.
Have you got a
Absolutely.
song in the back catalog that you never played that you wish you did?
Oh, fuck.
I stumped him.
We got him.
No, it's funny. I went immediately somewhere else, right?
Oh,
Which we'll come back to in a minute. I'm pretty certain we've played every song now
Wow,
because
that's
there was a
cool.
that's impressive.
moment. Yeah, there was a moment that like we did a show where we played every song that we had and recorded it live. It was beautiful. Since then, we've been really good at like making sure that they're all in all the
Cool.
time, you know,
Yeah, I love
in
that.
different ways. There are certainly some that just fall out because they don't really hold up against the rest, um, particularly live. But when you said that, what I thought about was a song that started the whole process for Dark Rainbow and didn't make the album.
Oh,
We never developed it past the demo because I knew that it's like I was like, that's album 6. I just knew it. I just was like, that's album 6, that's the direction. So we've just been gifted this thing from the future. Don't touch it anymore. Like we'll come back to that in a couple of years. But just and that is like I think about that like once a week at the minute. It's annoying the shit
wow.
out of me. I'm like, I'm
Sorry for bringing
cannot
it
wait.
up.
I've got a whole album to play, and I'm thinking about this song we haven't even fucking recorded. So
The
Does
grass
that
is
does,
always greener.
does that happen often? Like, do you get that where you'll have an idea and you've already got like kind of a little bit of foresight onto what you want to do next? Does it
yeah,
often
every
come that
album,
quick? Yeah.
every single album we've held one back for the next one.
Yeah,
Every
right.
single time. So Self Love was supposed to be on Sticky. We cut it last minute. That's our new single.
Okay.
Wildflowers was we wrote that when we wrote Blossom. We put that onto Modern Ruin.
Shit.
What was else? Yeah, it's every single time there's one that just hangs over like a I don't know if that's it's always just like it's not now. It's just a not a now thing.
Yeah.
It's
Does that mean when you're writing an album, you write 13 songs and you put out 12? Like some people come in the studio, like we've got 22 songs and then we're going to make the best of them. Are you guys a band that writes, no, we write the 12 and we're fully bringing those to fruition and then leaving that extra to come later?
No, we used to be. Blossom was the first 10 songs we wrote.
Okay.
That was it. Like we get these fuckers moving, let's get them out. I think Modern Ruin we wrote 12 and we released 11 or something. But for this we wrote 35 or 36, something like that. And
overachievers.
yeah, well, it was important. It's album 5,
Yeah.
you know, like okay, we got in there and we had a record done. And our management were like, "How you feeling?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's cool. It's like it's fucking solid, you know. It's really like it." And I'm like, "Okay, what happens if we just nudge it by a month?" And I was like no one, they've never said that before. You know what I mean? I was like, "What do you mean a month? Like knock the whole deadline?" And they were like, "Yeah, just write for another month and just see." And I was like, "Yeah, cool." We wrote like 8 new songs and they all made the album.
Yeah,
No
wow.
way.
No.
Shit.
Yeah, they would
That's
just
kind of
get,
cool for management to give you that.
absolutely. It's like, yeah, I'm indebted to them for that, you know. And I think they've seen now, okay, this is if we can make that process easier for them, then what they get is just better.
Yeah.
That's not to say the songs weren't good. There's an album there that's amazing that probably will never be heard now, but it wasn't right. You know, this is what had to happen. So
Crazy. Jeez.
That can be like a B-side extra thing that comes later on, a special edition, a deluxe reissue, what could have
yeah,
been.
the Nath and Johnny edition.
Oh,
Yeah,
we'll happily
now
release
we're
it for you. Yeah,
Christmas special.
I'm photoshopping your face on the boobs.
Hey, we're gonna let you get going in a moment. We know you got a lot of shit to do and a lot of people to talk to, but we're gonna chuck a few stupid questions at you, a few would you rather's. You know, it's
okay.
not, yeah, it's nice and early,
Nice.
and it's the first time on the channel. We've got to give him some dumb shit to answer.
Yeah. By the way, we've been looking. I know we said we're not gonna blow smoke, but we have been looking forward to getting you on here for quite a while. We've both been fans of honestly everything you've done across your career. So
since the early days,
yeah, we both got on Gallows very, very early and have been able to kind of come with you on the ride, which has been really, really cool. So
that's cool. Are you coming to any of the shows when we're over?
Fuck yeah, we are.
We haven't missed you so far.
Okay, we got to link up and say hello proper then.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Good.
Well, hang on. Let us finish the interview. See if you still like us.
Good idea. Yeah, good point.
All right. So first one, you have to wake up with one of these songs as your alarm clock every morning for the rest of your life. Now, you're an angry man, so this might actually serve you well. Either Creed with Arms Wide Open or Nickelback Photograph.
And you have to listen to the whole thing, start to finish every day.
Oh, fucking hell. I think it's got to be Creed. I don't know why.
It's inspiring. It's the way you want to start your day.
Yeah, with sheets wide open.
That's it.
Boom, just laying naked on my bed, spread eagle, like, yeah, fuck yeah.
Majestic.
Yeah, I think bit of Jesus metal in the morning. Yeah, why not?
Okay, well, I'm going to throw a spanner in the works. Same question, but your two songs are All Star by Smash Mouth or Tub Thumpin' Chumbawamba.
Oh, come on, it's Chumbawamba.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I kind of knew that was coming.
Yeah,
all right,
come on,
I've got a new one. I've got a new one. Now, this is because today at work, I was going to the toilet and we're going to potty humor now. I can't fucking stand. So the toilet roll, the loose bit has to be hanging over the front, not a mullet, not at the back, because I hate reaching under, touching the wall. Are you over the front or over the back?
I'm over the front.
Of course, you've just said, I hate when people do this. You're not going to be like, I do that. Fuck you, Johnny.
He doesn't owe me anything.
He's very polite, though.
He wants.
I actually take it off and put it on the floor between my feet.
Psychopath.
I don't do that.
This is getting a bit personal. This is going to blow your mind. I actually do that at home in one of my bathrooms because it's a rental, and where they put the fucking roll is just a little too far behind. And I feel like
so you bang your elbows.
Yeah, or I'm turning too far, and my crack slides over the seat and I end up with a shit smear on the seat. So I just grab it and I hold it in front, and I do that. So, but anyway.
Yeah, nice.
So, and now we're uninvited, so thank you for that.
Go on, give him the last one.
Yeah, the last one. So you're going on stage, you're dry, you're comfortable, you're ready to rock and roll. We're front and center. We're so pumped for you. But before you go on stage, you've got to put on cold, wet socks or cold, wet underwear. What do you choose and why?
Lads, what the fuck?
The discomfort on your face is palpable.
Oh, man. Cold wet underwear.
Why?
Cold wet socks is a miserable experience, and you ain't like, I'm on my feet bouncing around like that's just gonna make me like I wouldn't be able to finish a tour like that. That's some trench foot shit. I'm like, you know what I mean? It's not medieval times anymore. Like by the end of the show, those underwear are gonna be warm, bro. Like they're gonna be wet and warm. And now I can. No, I don't think chafed actually. I think actually it's probably quite refreshing. I might try it on this tour. I'll let you know. I might drop a few ice cubes down there.
If you get out here and you've got Colwood
Yeah.
underwear, I'm gonna be so fucking pissed, man.
Yeah, the beers are on me.
I'm team
The beers are
socks,
on
he's
me.
team underwear.
Yeah.
So you've chosen
Your
your
team
favorite.
socks. That is
Yeah.
wild.
Dude,
I'll tell you what, if
okay.
we were doing like an acoustic show, maybe cold wet socks, and I could just put my feet like up on the monitor and just like, you know,
Let him dry.
just stay cool. But yeah. But remember I'm from fucking England, yeah? And it's like if you do any of that, cold wet anything, and you leave the house, you're in trouble, lads. Like this is, you know.
I know, that's why it's a hard question. We asked the tough stuff here.
It's miserable.
You thought you were here to talk about music. It took a
Really
real
probing.
dark
Yeah.
turn.
You thought he started the day right. Dude, thanks for taking the time to hang out. We're so pumped to see you, and congratulations
pleasure.
on the album. As we said, we've had it for
Thank
a while,
you so much.
it's been on repeat.
Thank you.
Thanks,
I
dude.
really appreciate that, guys. Thanks. I'll see you
pleasure.
guys in May. Yeah.
Looking
Take
forward
Or
to
care.
it.
April. When is it? April.
Yeah, there's a
It's
lot of
April.
dates floating around.
Do you know
April.
why?
That's even better.
It's April because right after we play Sydney, I turned 40 years old.
Oh,
fucking-
shit.
Let's
Do
go.
you turn it
Have
in
some-
Australia or when you get home?
Yeah, no, in Australia.
Fuck yeah.
In Sydney?
I'm down on the birthday. Yeah.
Dude, we're
We're going
bringing
for your
a cake.
birthday.
Yeah.
We're in Sydney. We're going
Yeah.
to celebrate with you.
For sure.
Heck yeah.
See you later.
All right, dude. Take
All right,
care.
bud.
Peace.
Bye.